Hello and welcome back to some more AI the Somnium Files, where last time we took a trip into the past and we got lost in the woods and we got jump scared by Hitomi and we kept jumping into tree holes that took us into the Upside Down or whatever, and it was a very fun magical ride. And now we're gonna hear what Hitomi has to say about what she and Renju were up to with what was the fake name we gave her? The fake name we gave Monica was Alice. What exactly the situation was going on there? Because we found her corpse having been killed many years ago as a stand-in for Iris, and now we're starting to think that her lineage may not be as legit as we once thought it was. So let's see what Iris's mother has to say about it.
You three were close. You, Monica, and Renju. Monica was murdered. You and Renju found the body in the mountains, and you brought it back to the cold storage warehouse. My guess is So Sejima killed Monica. I've seen inside his head before, using this machine.
I see. If you know that much, then there's no point in hiding it anymore. I'll tell you the truth.
Staying in residence, unspecified time of day. It sure is a choice to play the theme song for this game at this current point in time.
Wait, you're going to see So?
Yes. I want to talk to him in person.
No, you can't.
Why not? Are you worried about my body? You don't have to worry about that. I'm totally fine.
But your stomach is still...
Oh, my doctor told me that's normal. Your stomach doesn't go down right away after giving birth.
I'm not worried about your body. I don't know how to explain it. So doesn't care about you. And especially not your child.
I haven't told him about giving birth. He contacted me for the first time in a while.
So that's why.
He wants to know about the baby.
He must be panicking. If anyone ever finds out his mistress had his baby, his political career would be over.
It's not like it was an affair.
His wife passed away after giving birth to his son, right?
It would still be a big scandal. He impregnated a girl who just graduated high school. Don't you see how that looks? He knew how the public would take it. That's why he gave you the money to deal with it. There's no way he'll accept that child.
It's okay. I told him that I won't cause any trouble. But could you take care of the baby? Just for a little bit?
It was just taken shortly before disaster.
I'll be right back.
No, you won't.
Fine. But take this with you, just in case. It's a GPS transmitter. Just to be extra safe.
I really don't think I'll need it. But okay, if it'll make you feel better.
I don't know what Monica saw in So. She said he was kind and loyal, that he wanted to change Japan, but I didn't understand any of it. We tried to convince her to break up with him so many times. She never listened.
Boy, have I been in that situation many times before, but it would be inappropriate to go to a middle school story now, given the context of the story, so we're just gonna keep on trekking on. One minor note, though, I don't like the echoes that they put on the voice actors' lines for the flashback scenes. It's distracting, and I think the visual, the change in scenery and the color grading is enough to clearly communicate it's a flashback without having the annoying echo effect.
And it ended in tragedy. What happened next, you already know. Neither Renju or I saw it happen, so I don't know how much of this is accurate. But we could guess what happened. So contacted his friend, the chairman of the Kumakuras. He asked him to dispose of the body and left the scene with the culprit.
The incident was 18 years ago. That means the chairman was Rohan, not Moma.
Rohan went to the scene of the crime?
Yes, with some of his men. He told her to move overseas. He said he'd pay for everything. Renju told me.
But you said he wasn't there.
He heard some of this from the Kumakuras. Renju had connections with them.
How did the Kumakuras know?
So told them. Date, you said that Monica was killed by So, right? But
I mean,
that's not true.
I've never believed that, but that's what he believes.
Monica was killed by Saito Sajima, the son of So and his late wife. Saito was 12 at the time.
Okay, that's strange. That's weird. Okay. Okay, so whenever that happens, whenever the boom, 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 heartbeat black and white thing happens, that always seems to indicate that it's referencing something that happened in Date's past. So, we know now that, or at least we are extremely confident in guessing now, that Date, the body of Date contains the personality of Falco, who now contains the personality of probably the Kumakura boss. I'm guessing, because what I'm guessing happened is that Falco was living his life as a criminal, met Iris, is like, hey, I want to be happy forever with this family, and then went to his boss at the Kumakura, is like, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. And so he said, okay, well, in that case, it's time to commit big die upon the family. So he tries to swap consciousnesses, whatever, with him to get him to call off the order, but something goes wrong, and they're stuck permanently in each other's bodies. So now Falco's personality is in Kumakura's body, and Kumakura's consciousness is in the prisoner's body, or Falco 89's body. So he's locked away in prison forever. The fact that but obviously, I guess I didn't actually think about that before, because the logic I was using was that we had to figure out a way to get Date's body and Falco at the scene of the crime and have them both be involved in Hitomi's life, but it can only have been one of them. And I assumed they explained, but then I just realized it wouldn't have made any sense for the body swap to have occurred in the manner that it did, because Date's body obviously isn't the body of anybody involved in the Yakuza office. So what just occurred to me, given the fact that we just saw that little flashback there, or not flashback, but the boom 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 thing that just happened. We need to get Falco's consciousness into a body that looks like Date's, but it obviously can't be. It obviously can't have been the Kamakura body, so we have to. There had to have been another switch at some point. Does it stand to reason that the switch that happened was with Saito Sajima? And that Saito swapped into... That Falco's consciousness swapped into Saito Tsujima's body, and Saito Tsujima's body swapped into the body of the Komakura, or something like something to that effect. And now he's the spirit of that killer, Saito Tsujima, who I'm guessing was the original Cyclops killer, or was at least involved with the Komakuras in some way, has then been going down the line to take revenge on everyone who has at least some tangential relation to Date as the one who screwed, or Falco rather, as the one who screwed everything up. That's gotta be what we're going for here, right? Because, I mean, even if you just look at their their files, I guess it doesn't look that. I was gonna say maybe he looks kind of similar to So. Kind of? I don't know, maybe I'm looking too hard into that. I feel like they look similar enough to where this is a plausible theory that we're going for here. Because that's the one loose end that we hadn't cleared up before this point.
12?
Yes,
But why would a little boy do that?
I don't know. I can't imagine. Again, neither Renju or I saw this. We were just waiting at my house for Monica to return. But she never came back. We tried to call her cell, but it didn't connect. But then, we saw movement on the GPS.
The GPS Renju gave to Monica?
Yes. At first, we thought she was on her way home. But we saw the GPS getting further and further away from the city. Renju and I got nervous, and we decided to follow it.
What about the baby?
We couldn't take the baby with us, so Renju gave the baby to the mob doctor he trusted.
Those are Kumakura men.
We didn't dare move. We couldn't speak. We were barely breathing. We could only watch as it all unfolded. I knew what the hole was for, but I couldn't move. Couldn't do anything. I remember my heart beating so fast. Before long.
We good here?
Yeah. Cover her.
Just a minute.
God, the sound effects, God. Oh my Jesus Christ! Oh my God, why? Oh!
The Kumakura
Oh!
picked Monica's body, then left. Renju and I ran over and dug up the grave with a tree branch.
I feel like your hands would have been a more effective
We
tool
saw.
than a tree branch.
Monica! Monica! We need to call the police.
No, we can't. Not yet.
Why not?
You don't know who those guys are. They would do anything to keep this hidden. I've seen it happen myself. I know what they're capable of. Anyway, think about it. Why would they do this? They thought Monica and her baby were going to be trouble. Monica's stomach was still pretty big. I don't think they know that she gave birth already. What do you think they'd do if they found out? They would take her and kill her too. And then they'd come for us. They'd make it look like we disappeared. All of us would be gone.
Renju convinced me. He knew more about the dirty underbelly of society than anyone. He knew when something couldn't be handled by the police. He said that they would do anything to kill the child. And I believed him. We had to protect Monica's baby.
So you decided to turn her into a pop star.
We had to. No matter what.
Okay. I understand.
I decided to trust him. We couldn't leave Monica's body in the forest. We cleaned her up and took her to the cold storage warehouse.
This warehouse is owned by Okiura Fishery. My father runs it, but it's not in use right now. They're moving operations to a better area. They're actually looking for buyers right now. But don't worry, I'll take over the warehouse.
Are you sure?
Yes. Don't worry, I'll keep everyone out. Everyone but you, of course. I'll give you a key. You can come visit any time you want to see Monica.
Monica, don't worry about the baby. I'll protect her, no matter what. And don't worry about them, either. The people who did this to you, I will never forgive them. I'm sorry, Monica. Sorry. I'm sorry. Monica.
So that's a lot to take in. That is a mighty hell of a lot to take in. But I think my biggest takeaway is, so you decided to keep Iris, you need to protect Iris and keep her secret so no one finds out about her. So you went with the So you went with the big brain move to allow her to become an internet sensation where she's easily identifiable publicly, and she looks the same as Monica did. I question your decision making, but alright. A sofa.
I don't really want to discuss this, but there's something you need to know. After talking to the Kumakura gang, I found out who killed Monica. So's son, Saito Sejima.
How? Saito was only
12 years old.
Why? Why would a little boy do that?
I don't know the motive, but I know it's true. So used his connections with the Kumakuras to cover up for his son. And all of the evidence of this scandal, of course.
I'll never forgive them. So, his son, or the Kumakuras.
I feel the same way. But you can't think about revenge now. You and the baby can't lead a life like that. Just bear with it for now. The opportunity will come. So wait until the right moment. Okay? The mob doctor took care of everything. I have the birth certificate, and I even picked up a mother and baby book. It wasn't cheap, but you don't have to worry about it. Just submit the birth certificate, and everything will be taken care of. You look worried.
I feel like I'm somehow betraying Monica. She was the one who gave birth.
Soon, you won't even be able to think about that. Because a war is about to begin.
A war?
Between you and the baby. You won't get a good night's sleep for a long time. You might even start to resent Monica for all this.
Really?
Anyway, as soon as you submit the certificate, you will officially be her mother. Be sure to raise her responsibly. I'll help. Occasionally.
Occasionally, huh? I was thinking about her name. How about Iris?
Iris?
The goddess of rainbows in Greek mythology? And the colored part of your eye.
And the flower, too.
Right.
I thought it might have something to do with your name, Hitomi.
Not only that, it's also for Monika's name. The kanji for Monika uses the character for love. And Monika reminds me of Monoko, Japanese for eye.
So both names have something to do with the eye.
And I, which means love, will always be a part of Iris.
So that's how you came up with the name?
Don't you think it's nice?
Iris. Iris. Yeah, I really like it.
And so my life with Iris began. Raising a child was much harder than I expected. Waking up in the middle of the night to change diapers or feed her. Iris wasn't a good sleeper. I had to sing her lullabies to put her to sleep. And I always needed to put her to bed so carefully. It would only take 10 seconds before she'd start crying again. So I had to pick her up, sing her another lullaby, then put her back to bed. After doing this over and over, before I knew it, the morning sun would creep in through the windows. But even with all that, I cherished every single day. My hatred for those responsible never went away. But my hands were full, raising Iris. I devoted myself to her. I never thought about anything else. Eventually, my desire for revenge just faded away.
Mama! Mama! Woof! Woof! Mama! Omelette! Omelette! Sweepy! Up? Mommy, I won race today! Is Mommy proud of me?
Alright, that's kind of adorable.
I want to see Milky Moon again! Mommy, you are so good at dancing! Mommy, pancakes are done! Sorry, I burned it a little. Mommy, why can't I dance at the stores? I can't help it! My body dances on its own! Mommy, don't more people come to barbecues? How come it's always you and me? Hey, Mommy. How long will it take my bone to get better? I want to dance again with everybody. Hey, Mommy, do you like my shirt? Look, we're matching!
Alright, maybe we don't need this many flashback examples, but still adorable.
Mommy, thank you for everything! I love you more than anything in the whole wide world! Mommy, look! I drew it!
The Okonomiyaki War, huh?
Otherwise known as the mess that no one wanted to clean up that could have been easily avoided. I really don't see how anybody benefits from covering the entire kitchen in... What was it they were making? Was it an omelet that went wrong? I don't even know anymore.
That was so fun! We should do it again!
No, you should not.
The food fight.
Oh!
I'm gonna have to say no to the latter, sweetie. It took forever to clean.
But Uncle said he wants to do it again too!
Well, Uncle, that being me, is crazy! Don't listen to him.
Hey, Mommy.
Yes?
Are you gonna marry him?
What are you talking about?
As long as it's Uncle, I'm all for it! I say go for it!
I would always question myself. Could I keep living a lie? I had promised Monika that I would avenge her, but I couldn't work up the courage. And maybe Renju was exaggerating, but there's no statute of limitations for murder in Japan.
Is that true? Because if so, that calls into question some other things that originated from Japan.
If we showed Monika's body to the police, So would be punished by the law. And the Tsujima's and Kumakura's crimes would be uncovered. But that would mean Iris's secret would be uncovered as well. That's what I was really worried about. I didn't want Iris to know that So was her father. And even more than that, I didn't want her to know that I'm not her real mother. That's the real reason I've been silent for 18 years. I didn't want to lose Iris. But fate can be cruel. God used other means to take Iris from me. In January, Iris suddenly collapsed. It was caused by a malignant tumor in her brain. There's nothing we can do. She only has a year to live at most.
But you did mention that there was a way to save her, right?
That's what the doctor said. If you remember me.
I do. I also remember you mentioning that you beginning to tell me that there was a way to save her, but then you got cut off by the plot, so now it's relevant again.
What I didn't tell you is that there was an experimental new treatment.
You did try to tell me, but then the plot cut you off.
It was.
I swear to God if the plot cuts you off again.
Some of the cutting-edge nanomachines can even go inside your body and cure illnesses. They can even cure cancer. And they go beep, beep, beep. That's what Mom said.
Alright, you get a point. You get one whole point. There was a single piece of dialogue in that long-ass, boring, waste of my time episode that actually had relevance to something. The rest of it can go into the bin. It was horrible, but at least part of it came back around in the end.
Nanomachines. Nanomachines could remove the tumor, but the procedure would be so expensive. With my salary, it wasn't something I could afford. I thought hard about it.
Okay, but what about Iris's internet stardom salary?
About how I could get my hands on that kind of money. But I couldn't think of a solution. Time passed. Before I knew it, it was November. Iris's symptoms worsened. Her time was running out. I was starting to panic. I couldn't sit here and waste time while Iris... In any case, I had to get the money before it was too late. So I thought of a plan. A plan to blackmail So Tsujima. Two days ago, on Saturday night, I called So and invited him to come to the warehouse. He agreed to come. After I hinted at what happened 18 years ago, I had prepared everything, hiding behind the forklift until So came. When he finally arrived, he walked over to the workbench where I had laid Monica's body. He lifted the cloth and looked down. He whimpered and stumbled back. Even he was fazed, seeing a body he thought he got rid of 18 years ago. Not to mention it was the body of a woman he was in a relationship with. A woman his own son killed. He reacted exactly as I expected he would. I had prepared a recording and sent it to his phone.
I know what happened 18 years ago. Everything. I know who did it, and I know she had a baby inside her. You can probably guess what I'm going to say next. Be prepared to pay for my silence. I will tell you the exact amount later. And don't tell anyone about this. Not Saito, not the Kumakuras. If you do anything even remotely suspect, I will go to the press with the truth. Understand?
I told him to keep quiet and cut ties with the Kumakuras. Even if he found out who I was, without the Kumakura gang, he had no power over me. And there's no way he'd risk his political career, not to go after me. I saw So put his phone back into his pocket and run out of the warehouse. I came out of my hiding place to put Monica's body back, but then something unexpected happened. saw you, Date. I hid behind the forklift before you saw me. And when you were done looking around...
It can't be. Iris.
I was losing consciousness. My head felt fuzzy. I couldn't gather my thoughts. I didn't know what to say. Instead, Iba did the talking.
Iris is not Hitomi's daughter.
Thanks, Iba. Wow, I never... wow, really? Once again, their faith in your intelligence is shining as bright as ever.
But Iris's father is Sosajima. Her mother, Monica Iwai, was killed 18 years ago by So's son, Saito.
I like it when they have a really...
Hitomi raised Iris since she was a baby.
Man, I like it when they have a really well-made flashback sequence going over in explicit detail everything that happened, and then at the end they're like, hey, let's summarize all of it, because I guess you forgot what happened over the course of the past half hour.
Hitomi showed unwavering love and compassion for her.
I'm just gonna skip this. we're not relearning everything we just learned. That's not happening. We're not doing this. I heard Iba call for me and came too.
I probably don't have to ask, but let me just be sure. After I left the warehouse, what did you do?
I put Monica's body back under the hood of the forklift. Then, I left.
Makes sense.
They really didn't... The people...
That's why the police didn't see the body when they arrived on the scene.
They really didn't search around. You think they'd have been obligated to investigate the area anyway and find at which point they would have found the body.
It makes perfect sense now that I have the facts.
I wouldn't put it that far.
Iris did not resurrect. You simply mistook Monica for Iris.
Yeah, as did you, as my eyeball.
The body did not disappear.
God, can we stop? Can we please stop doing this? Where we have a flashback, or just anything, and then they have it explicitly re-explained?
Those were the events at the warehouse Sunday night. Simple. There are still a few loose ends, but I believe I understand what occurred 18 years ago. However, none of this ties directly back to Shoko Nadami.
I don't know if I put it that way. I'm starting to get a clearer picture of Saito's involvement with this. If I'm correct in my body swap theory, the chain of murders as a means of revenge on Date starts to make a lot more sense.
Or are these two separate cases?
I still say that if you really wanted to strike at Date, Mizuki would be your most obvious target.
If there is a connection, it would be with Renju and So. We can think about it later. More importantly...
I headed for the exit.
Wait. Where are you going?
To look for Iris, of course.
But you have no idea where she is, right?
Do you know something?
Yes.
Well, that would have been very helpful information a while ago.
At around 4 o'clock today, I received a phone call. I don't know who it was. They were using a voice modulator.
What did they say?
I have your daughter. Don't call the police or she dies. That's why I didn't tell you earlier.
Renju.
We don't know that for certain. It could be number 89.
Either way, Iris is in danger right now.
The voice asked for something else. He told me to go to a specified location with you.
With me?
Yes.
The culprit knows me? It must be Renju.
If I'm correct...
Location.
If I'm correct, then Prisoner 89 also has a pretty damn good reason to know who you are.
I'm sorry, but this stops now.
Date. Run.
Boss!
Why aren't we dead already? Exactly.
Do not worry. I merely put her to sleep.
What are you doing?
My orders. They told us to halt our investigation. The boss was already going against orders as it is, which is why...
Investigation? What investigation? Shoko or Iris?
Neither. The investigation of Monica's murder.
Monica? But her case is all but completely solved.
Yes, but only to us, right? If we say nothing, then her investigation is ongoing.
So Sejima so threatened us, didn't he?
I don't know. But you've been stripped of your authority on this investigation as of 5 minutes ago. In fact, you are to be placed under house arrest. What will you do, Date? I suggest you comply.
Iva, can you turn the power off?
Easily.
Alright, get ready.
Because you're just that overpowered.
2,
Nothing she can't do. Also, I imagine you would have just start firing blindly. Oh, real? Oh, wow. It was that easy. Did you break his shoulder? That went from 0 to 100 real quick. Okay, that was easy. Wow.
Where is the location?
I can't tell you.
Yeah. This family, I swear to God. Hitomi, listen to me very carefully. The daughter that you've been caring for so tenderly over the last 18 years, her life is in danger right now. Okay? So, we need your help to get her back. Because if we don't get her back, she's gonna commit the big die. And if you have any chance of having those nanomachines save her life, we need your help right now, Hitomi.
Why not?
If I told you, you'd go alone, wouldn't you?
I literally have the most overpowered AI to have ever been created in this universe in my eyeball right now. I think I'll be okay, thanks though.
But if I don't go with you...
Need I remind you of what happened in the Blue Route? Literally nothing can kill us. We are invincible. Absolutely nothing can kill us.
Alright, take me there.
Thanks. Thanks for playing along. Oh, by the way, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this before, but I'll say it again. The pink route apparently has a lock incoming, a Virtue's Last Reward style story lock incoming at some point. So, I don't know when we're gonna hit it, but I imagine it's gonna be rather soon because we've been making a lot of progress on this route so far.
I know this place.
It's the chemical plant that closed 8 years ago.
I knew that. How did I know that? The corners of my mind were aching.
Date, I'm sorry. This is going to be bad.
What happened?
Someone has begun to access my stored memory.
What?
They are attempting to wipe all the data.
How do they have access?
Accumulated over the last 5 years, including backups.
Pewter.
How?
Is Pewter doing this?
How? How could he he's tied up in a locker. And presumably has a broken how? No, how?
I summoned some ice, but that will only buy time. I have 4 hours at the most. After my ice is broken, Pewter will be able to access Logic, my core programming. He would be able to destroy my mind.
Why?
It must be related to the orders they are receiving from the top. The higher-ups clearly see you as a threat, Dante. And they're attempting to limit your power by removing you from the equation. I suppose their motivation hardly matters now. The most important thing now is finding Iris and bringing her to Abyss within 4 hours, or else I will cease to exist.
Date? What's wrong?
Nothing.
All right, now you know. So get moving. I'm counting on you, Date.
4 hours. It's fine, there should be plenty of time. I gripped my revolver and got moving.
I'll go in first. You wait here.
Okay.
Is that... Renju?
How did that happen? actually, how did that happen? How... Okay. No spatial awareness at all? Oh, is this it? Is this a story lock? The case remains unsolved. Okay, do we need... Can you stop spazzing out constantly? Thanks, though. Is this our story lock? I'm guessing that's a story lock. Yeah, okay. My ancient enemy from Zero Escape has come back to... Well, I say that as if I didn't ever hit any story locks in Versus Us Word. Except for the one mandatory one, I didn't hit any, so... My favorite part of Zero Escape has come back to haunt me once again. Well... Yeah, this is what I'm... But... There's no way he could... There's no way he could have possibly stuck up on Date. 0% chance. Anyway, they seem to imply there that Date knew about the chemical plant thanks to what happened at the end of the Blue Route. Which has very severe implications because it means that he can retain things he learned from other routes. Which doesn't make any sense at all. Because this isn't Zero Escape. We're playing by different rules. But okay. Whatever. Next up, we're going to do the one route we haven't yet done, which is the green route. Because it's all we can do right now. We've cleared out the red routes, we've cleared out the yellow route, we've cleared out the blue route, and we've gotten as far as we can to the pink route, which means all we have left to do is the green route, where we deviate out from this one. This Somnium right here, the absolute wacko nonsense Somnium. So we'll deviate, we'll go back to sinking in the vein, and see what happens when we go on the alternate route there. So that'll be it for now. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next time. I'll catch you all tomorrow for some more AI the Somnium Files. Goodbye.